Hello once again and welcome to Inside Earlham Cross Country right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. We're going to talk with Rob and Claire Hewitt and get an update. They have a big invitational coming up this weekend right here at Earlham College. We'll talk with Rob and Claire coming up in just a moment right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The Energy Center is located in the west side of the Athletics and Wellness Center. The weight room is open to the Earlham campus as well as members of the Richmond community. The center features state-of-the-art fitness equipment such as treadmills, ellipticals, stationary bicycles, rowing machines, strength training equipment, free weights, and more.
As mentioned previously, the Invitational coming up here at Earlham College this weekend promises to be a nice weekend. I think the rain should be out of here by sometime on Friday. The course might be a little bit soggy, but other than that, Rob, it looks like you have a good weekend. Before we talk about that, the recruiting side of it, which I always find fascinating because coaches have different philosophies about recruiting, how they want to go about recruiting, what kind of kids they're looking for and such. But you just mentioned to me a little bit ago you've had some kids on campus, and that's really huge, I think, for your program.
Yeah, no, it's been exciting. We had a really nice group of athletes come in this past weekend where, they were fast and smart, which is what we're looking for. And they're going to help push the envelope, and we're looking for people who are going to come in here and be willing to be game changers with us, and be willing to continue to evolve a culture and continue to look at something and say, well, I'm not looking to plug myself into the hamster wheel, but I'm looking to make the wheel. I think there's something really exciting in building something, and that's what we're looking to, is build towards a conference championship and build towards those NCAA berths. And so we need the student athlete, not just the athlete, but we need the smart kid who's also willing to be fast and a risk taker. And we've been able to talk to some really awesome kids so far, and we're pretty excited.
What do you look for when you're going out there now that you're on the recruiting trail? As you said, you want fast and smart, but someone that also kind of features your philosophies and what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, one of the cool things that we're looking for is, if you can get a really nice miler in here for when we're talking about cross country, that'd be awesome. You get somebody with some good mile or half mile credentials, especially for the females. If you can get a half mile credential in there, it works just as well as a mile credential for the male. Obviously we'd love to get people who have some good quarter speed, but also for the men, like having a really nice 2 mile mark is pretty positive for us too. So, with the race being 8,000 meters for men, it's a little bit more of like we can look for milers with some good speed and some 2 milers, but with the race being 6,000 meters for women, they're looking for a little bit of a half mile or miler type of mix. And so we've been able to have those conversations with kids and get them up on campus, and hopefully they're feeling the energy that we feel and that we're trying to put into this thing, and that they want to be a part of the change. So.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like. In fact, as you mentioned, you had 8 here.
Yeah, there was 8 kids up on campus,
great.
Which is really awesome. That was through Friday and Sunday, and so it was really positive.
Do you get a feedback a little bit from them? Do they? Most of them don't want to say, "Well, here I'm coming," But do you get kind of a feedback a little bit, or?
Yeah, obviously we're trying to gauge their interest and see what they like, and one of the young men was from up north in Indiana, and he had a really great experience. He came back and he's like, sent us a text like, I completely can see myself here. And
good.
Those are things that you want to hear. And we've had kids come in from Philadelphia and kids come in from Michigan, and some kids are coming in from Texas, and so they're looking at this place from all around. So it's been a good net that we've been able to cast, and in addition to stay close to our roots of Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois, and we're talking some kids in Tennessee, and it's a really exciting process right now for the kids and for us, so it's been good back and forth.
That is fantastic. Okay, this weekend we'll get a chance to see you run. Talk a little bit about the Invitational.
Well, we've got Anderson University, IU East, IU Northwest, and Wabash are going to send a group of men to the meet, which is really cool for us, and we feel like it's a really awesome opportunity for us to race up front and look to win a race. So that's why we put this field together as an opportunity for. It's certainly not a cakewalk. These teams are good, and so they're going to pull us to our best, and we're hoping that we can help pull them to their best. But in the end, we're looking to come out on top, and that's the goal. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to talk with Claire in a couple of moments, and just from your standpoint as co-coach, is everything going great? It seems like you, again, I don't know that I remember a time a co-coach in any sport, really doesn't happen that often, everything's still going great for you, both of you, and kind of settling in and everything? And
yeah, we are settling in. I mean, things have been, we've had some ups and downs. I mean, I think that's, going to always continue to roll, even when we're at a completely different level than we're at right now. I think we'll continue to have ups and downs. We had a rough workout Friday where, we had to go back to the drawing board, and interact with athletes and say, okay, what was that for you and what was it for us? And then the nice thing is we had those conversations, and Tuesday went really well for us. So, we're just continuing to work on, being able to handle chaos and pressure, and but also being willing to look at it different mentally. And as we continue to make those jumps, hopefully the waves will get a little bit smaller, and the distance between the wave will get smaller. And so that's all we can really ask for at this point. So we're getting there.
I think it will. All right, Rob, good to see you again,
Thanks,
sir.
Troy.
All right, thank you as always. We'll talk with Claire coming up in a couple of moments as we continue right here on Inside Earlham Cross Country, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The Earlham College tennis programs have several options when it comes to courts on campus. The EC tennis courts, located on the south end of campus near Darrell Bean Stadium, feature 10 hard courts complete with windscreens that both the men's and women's tennis programs use as the site for varsity competition. The U courts, located just south of the Athletics and Wellness Center, serve as practice courts outdoors, while True Blood Fieldhouse hosts 2 indoor courts in case of rain for practice.
Back once again on Inside Cross Country right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. And Claire, I'm going to start with you about the meet coming up this weekend. Your course will be certainly a test for all the athletes that'll be running. Give me your perspective on the course. What do you like about it? What would you like to maybe see changed? And what will be the biggest challenge this weekend?
Sure. So, I mean, we changed the course. Right. This meet is different from last year, and also probably different from next year. So there's some interesting things we're exploring, sort of further out on the campus for a more permanent home for cross country. But for this week, we have a course that uses the woods, which is a part of the old course that everyone will know, and it's an awesome little loop. It's the whole course, I think, should run pretty quick.
Okay.
Right? It'll be muddy, but that's why we race cross country. Everyone's running in the same stuff, so it doesn't matter. And one thing I like about the course is that it is sort of it's a great place to race. So there's nothing about the course that takes away from being able to compete and sort of give it your best and really feel like you're in it. Right? You can get a rhythm, you can find a groove, and you can be out there. And then I think probably the most challenging part of this weekend will just be the weather we have heading into it, right? It'll be a little muddy, and that's okay. I mean, that's why we have our sport. It's part of it. It takes a certain kind of person, right?
Yeah, it does.
And another thing that's nice is that they do loop a few times. The women will come by this sort of the same general area of campus, start couple times in the middle and then finish.
Okay.
And the men even another time past that. So so it is nice for the people who are in the race to have some contact with people who are watching. And I think particularly for where we are in terms of trying to grow cross country, and it's our only home meet. And so it'll be nice for whoever we manage to get out there on what might be a little rainy day, certainly a cool fall day. They'll be able to, without having to go through too much craziness, to see the race come by a few times and see their friends, cheer them on.
I'm curious, when you say a little further out from campus, we're talking a little bit further to the south, I'm assuming, right? Or is it?
So on campus, just out through around some of the pasture fields, something that would potentially not be loops in the same area, but just use a little more of the ground and the space here. Might as well use it.
Plenty of it. Yeah, might as well, because there is plenty of space here. Coach, we were talking about recruiting, and I'm sure you heard that a couple of moments ago. I think when you said you guys had 8 athletes on campus, I was really excited about that. That has to feel great.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, so there's a couple hurdles in the recruiting calendar, right? And the first one is getting them on campus, and so we've been doing really well with that. It's been funny to me. One of the things that sort of sometimes scares college programs away from hiring high school coaches is their worry about will they be able to recruit.
Right.
and it's funny because those are people who have spent a long time really connecting with high school kids,
Yeah.
which has proved amazingly effective and valuable in our recruiting. And so, so that part, getting them interested in what we're doing and showing them our energy and our passion has really yielded a great response.
Yeah.
So that's hurdle one, and getting them on campus. We're hoping that they see what we saw, right? We came out here last year and saw things we weren't expecting to see. It totally blew away whatever sort of preconceptions we had, and we really felt a good energy, right? That's why we're here. So we're hoping they have a similar experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next hurdle is getting them to say yes. So so we're definitely in the thick of it, and so far so good.
Isn't that kind of fun though? To you're going out there getting those kids and trying to convince. I mean, I guess you're kind of a salesman. Yes, I understand that part. But don't you find it kind of fun? I mean,
yeah. I mean, one of the things that's really has been sort of a drive in my life, right? One of the things that kept me in coaching is that we get to be involved in young people's lives at this phase where they're making some really big decisions and where they're doing some really big exploring, and whether that's while they're here or wherever they are in school, going through academics and life and all that, or in that part where they're choosing, is to really be able to sort of keep them in mind, right? Put your feet in their shoes as well and say, obviously this is about finding a good match, right? We want people who want to be part of what we're doing and who will be great in that and who will enjoy it, right? We're going to get something from it. They're going to get something from it. It should be a good fit and a good match. And so, yes, there's a salesmanship to it, right? We're trying to show off everything that's great or that we see as potential here, and so is everyone else. Mm-hmm. But the really comes down to like finding a click, finding a match, and something that you're showing them all the opportunities, right? You don't want them to not see what could be possible, and you're not fooling them, right? There's also a piece, especially right now, when we're in a transition, we have a vision for what we want, but we haven't created it yet. There's a lot of trust there, and there has to be a lot of honesty, right? We really have to be sort of open with them about where we are and where we want to go, and what we think it takes to get there. So it's a vulnerable time too, right? Lay it all out there.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure before I let you go. The thing that I would, and what I think is exciting about Rob and yourself is that you're kind of starting right here, and everything's got to be built on top of that. As an athlete, I'd like to be a part of that.
Right. Yeah, and that's part of the other piece that we're really we're honest about, right? Is that it is going to take someone who wants that to be part of their experience, right? Anyone coming in now and for the next few years gets to be part of shaping the legacy of what's next.
That's right.
And sometimes you wonder what kind of a stamp you leave on a program. They will have no doubt.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
It will be clear and evident. And so, it should be someone who knows what they're getting into, and who sees it as an opportunity and something that they'll enjoy, right? And get the right mix of people there, and then hopefully just take off. Yeah,
and then of course look at the experience you have as you see them later in life too, which I think is huge. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've definitely have had freshmen come in and say, am I going to grow up like the seniors? What do you think I'm going to be like? And it really is amazing, right? Those 4 years are like a lifetime.
They are. All right, what time do things get started on Saturday?
Men race at 10, women at 10:30. So.
Okay, going to be fun.
Come on out.
Yeah, come on out and see them. It'll be fun, and kind of anxious to see how they all handle the new portions of the course too. That will be interesting. All right. Rob and Claire, thank you both. Good to see you again. All right, and we'll see you again next time right here on Inside Cross Country on Radio Troy Digital Sports.